Talk about it with Fran Jazz. Today we have 3 special guests. The Pint Sized Vegan, the owner of Beyond Bussin, Marcus, and returning guest, Navi Da Prophet. Thank you everybody for being here.
Yes.
Yes, you know it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let's run up the line and just let us know how you're doing today.
I'm doing phenomenal. You know, I'm alive, I'm breathing, and continuing to help others in my mission and still going. So I'm happy about that every day.
My man.
In every way.
I'm faring well today. Yeah, first time here. I'm excited.
My man, I like that.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. This is also my first time here as well. Just very excited to talk and discuss.
Awesome. So let's get down to it. Now you've been here before, so most of the questions will be aimed at getting to know our 2 new guests today.
Absolutely.
Marcus, where were you born?
Born and raised in Yonkers, New York.
My man,
Yeah.
I like that.
True veteran.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood. What kind of kid were you?
I'm the youngest of 7. I grew up with both my parents. My dad is from Grenada, so there's a heavy West Indian culture in the household and just the way I was brought up. And yeah, I'm the baby of the family. I came 15 years after all my siblings. So yeah, I've been having a good time. I do food and music at the same time and poetry and teach children how to write rhymes and poems. And yeah, I got a CDL. I drive. That's a good time.
I didn't know you had a CDL, my man.
Yeah.
You didn't see the Beyond Bussin truck?
Nah,
Not
after
yet.
this, I'm done.
Not yet.
You got to manifest it.
Yeah, I'm just saying it out loud.
I like it. Pint size. Where were you born?
So I was technically born in the Westchester Medical Center in Valhalla, but I'm pretty much Yonkers all the way, my whole life.
Nice. And tell us about your childhood. What kind of kid were you?
So I was definitely a very interesting kid growing up. I was definitely the odd one in a good way. I had a decent amount of friends, a lot of people that understood me. I feel like my parents knew something good was going to come out of me, and I guess here we are today. So I am the youngest. There's just my older brother that's 7 years older than me, and then I have both of my parents as well still here. So
Nice. Marcus, what type of food was cooked in the house when you were a kid?
My dad was the main chef.
My man.
So he did a lot of traditional things that you would find in a typical household, but always with Caribbean flavor. He did a lot of, chicken, ribs. He does well, oxtails. But then there was sometimes that he would do things that didn't involve meat, which was pretty cool. And yeah, everything. My dad's a chef also, so everything was really delicious.
What did he make that was meatless? You remember any dishes that he would make back
Mushrooms.
then? My man.
Mushrooms, that's his best dish without meat, and probably collard greens without anything in it, like the turkey necks or anything like that. Yeah, but my dad makes everything really well.
My man. I like that. Pint size. What type of food was cooked in the house when you were a kid?
So I'm primarily Italian and Puerto Rican, but Italian is more how I grew up. And it was a mix of my dad was the main cook, but my dad didn't really cook a lot of the Puerto Rican food. My dad's the one that's Puerto Rican. He grew up with a lot of Italians, and once he dated my mom, that was all over. So he inherited my grandma's recipes and all of that. So I pretty much have Italian food cooked from him. And then when my grandma was still with us, I had a lot of food from her too.
And growing up, did you have any breaks from meat like Marcus did, where you had some days of mushrooms?
Well, for me, as a kid, I was a really picky eater back then. So anything that had at least just cheese and all that, so a lot of different pastas and stuff. So the family recipe for the lasagna is actually vegetarian, because on the side, it would be the sausages and the meatballs and stuff like that. And I never really ate any of that growing up. I was even picky with certain meats, and I felt that was maybe the beginning of all of this.
What age you think that was?
Oh my gosh, I was definitely 5th grade and going into middle school, I was starting to be like, there were very certain things, animals that I just did not want to eat. And I was like, I don't know. I just look back and I'm just like, I think, yeah, maybe it was definitely a start of something. But I just knew I couldn't do it then. I just felt like I just, had to wait till I got a little older.
You felt bad for the animals is the main reason?
Yeah, I felt bad because mostly the baby animals. Since I'm Italian, there's veal, and veal is honestly it's a baby cow, and I was like, no, that never ever intrigued me at all.
How about you, Marcus? What was your earliest experience where you thought twice about meat?
It's funny you should bring up veal. It was veal.
Right?
Elementary
I'm
school.
telling you. It's a veal, man.
It was veal. They offered that in school one day. And then once we found,
What was it, veal parm or something? How'd they serve it at school?
Man.
Yeah.
It must have looked gray or something.
I can't remember. It was.
Didn't you go to Yonkers schools too?
I went to Pearls, so yeah.
Oh, that's why.
One time.
Yeah, Pearls
was more
be
privileged.
Like that.
Yeah, they had veal.
I may have veal.
That's crazy.
I went to Yonkers schools too. I didn't have that.
We didn't go to Pearls.
Me too.
Yeah, I didn't go.
We didn't go to Pearls.
That's why. It was
Shout out to Pearls, I guess.
Pearls giving out veal.
Experiences, but yeah, that kind of turned me away. And then when I was maybe 13, 14, or it was 8th grade, 13, 14.
Yeah.
I had gotten a 3-year internship working at the Bronx Zoo
My
I
man.
really liked animals. So I was there for 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade summer. And I always liked animals, but as I got older and hooked up with the vegan lifestyle, it became more about that. I don't feel like we really own animals like that. Who told us that? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a mix between diet and
that's a fact.
The rights of all creatures on the planet.
Yes.
I like that. If you guys haven't noticed yet, this is the vegan episode. And I want to start off.
Vegan Avengers here.
Yes.
And I wanted to start off because I want this to be educational also for the viewers. So, the definition of veganism, I did a lot of research on this for this episode.
Great.
So, there's a misconception. People think vegan is the plant-based diet. Mm-hmm. They think plant-based is vegan. Mm-hmm. Plant-based is just a diet. Veganism is not just a diet, it's a lifestyle that eliminates all animal products and exploitation, which includes a fully plant-based diet.
Yes.
We were all on the same page?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Correct.
So that's the introduction to what exactly we'll be discussing this episode. And Navi, let's give us a little update of where you've been since the last time you were here.
What exactly? Okay.
Yeah,
so
where you been?
Everything?
Everything. Where we at?
Oh, man. Shout out to One Paso.
Tell us about One Paso. What is that?
Shout out to mental health organization. Shout out to One Paso. I'm a mental health coach for One Paso. We're out there changing lives. That's what we're doing. And one Paso at a time. We're talking to teenagers from 14 to 17, discussing mental health through podcasting and journaling. We are discussing now. I'm head of conducting the Mindful Men Mondays. Shout out to Mindful Men. Shout out to all of my mindful men who come to my sessions. It's a great safe space, of course, for men. I know you've attended. Thank you again for attending.
Absolutely. Thanks for having the safe space for men.
That's rare. I know it's tremendously important. It was
especially
one of my
in poor neighborhoods. The south side of Yonkers, there's not too much help out there. It exists, but you got to really go out your way to find it. So to make that Monday is beautiful.
Absolutely. And most importantly, a lot of people, some people that do know me and some that don't know me, we speak about this often, where One Paso is literally where, when I was born, that was the first block I lived on, which was Elliott.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's like a full circle moment, being able to turn around and help the exact neighborhood that when I was first born, that's where I lived. And, of course, one of the roughest neighborhoods, especially back in the day. And so, just being able to continuously be a pillar to my community, it's been one of my biggest achievements. And I just can't wait to what else we got coming. Of course, Mindful Men is just going to get better as well. Of course, we got the free salsa on Thursdays. Don't forget that. Everybody that wanted to come and dance salsa, if you're not, get your steps on. What else we got? Yeah, that's pretty much
All right,
it.
we'll get into more of you.
Yeah,
if,
we'll get
if,
into
if you
more.
remember more, just,
Yeah, we'll
just
get
bring
into-
it up
we'll
throughout
get
the
into more,
episode.
yeah.
But the big question is, did veal turn you out?
No, honestly,
That is the question.
you want to know something? You want to know something funny? I've never had veal.
My man, because
In
you
my
didn't go to
life.
Pearls.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact.
the
That's probably
gateway.
why. But I've never had veal in my life, by the way. I've never had veal in my life. In 2019, I got sick pretty much. And that's what happened and made me completely change my lifestyle, as you can see. And I knew that it was based off of my lifestyle, especially when you're young and you're used to eating certain types of food that your parents feed you on a day, every day or every other, and you need to detox from that. No matter what people think, even if you're eating the same way, you still need to somehow detox from those foods at some point in time in your life, especially when you become an adult. That's why, so many people are having these, stomach issues today, especially when we get to, our adulthood. But we can prevent those things, by simply adding more greens at least to your diet. Like most of the time, especially when you're growing up in African-American households or Hispanic households, you're eating the essentials, which is some sort of starch, rice, and some sort of meat. And you never barely see any greens added onto that plate. So it's just one of the key ingredients that most of us are missing in our diets. So once I changed that as a lifestyle, once I changed, I realized everything changed. My mentality changed, of course, my skin, my energy, everything changed, and it's like going backwards at some point in time, So it's been an incredible, helpful journey. Like,
Nice.
absolutely.
I'm happy for you. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
Beyond Bussin, where did that name come from?
The young kids say the food is bussin'.
My man.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends came up with that name. I wanted to name it Yonkers Vegan, and nobody liked that. And then another friend was like, Beyond Bussin', and everybody was like, yeah, we like that. But I was like, what about Yonkers Vegan? But Beyond Bussin' won out on the vote.
Okay.
Because I'm such a Yonkers lover, I would have said Yonkers Vegan,
Yeah.
and then your what's it called? Your catchphrase, your slogan could have been Beyond Bussin'.
Oh.
Yonkers Vegan is Beyond Bussin'.
See,
Yeah.
I get that.
I didn't know you back then. Crazy.
Oh man, yeah, you still got time, man. It's not too late. 100%. What is the goal with Beyond Bussin'? What's the best case scenario with it?
Well, of course, we want to still be able to provide vegan options consistently for the Westchester area, specifically Yonkers.
Yeah.
But, there's really no vegan spots out here that you could go to regularly. I don't want to neglect Jolo's out in New Rochelle. He's definitely been holding it down for a very long time.
And Westchester, as far as Westchester.
Oh, yeah.
But in Yonkers, no.
Yonkers, I don't think anything. There's nothing. So, yeah, there's no all plant-based restaurant or deli you could go to,
Establishment.
anything like that. So we're really filling a need out here.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's not just good vegan food. It's also healthy. It's another alternative for people. I live on the south side of Yonkers, so you sometimes it could be like a little bit of a food desert over there. So it also gives some alternatives to people who may not have ever experienced plant-based food or options at all.
Is the goal also to have a store, an actual restaurant one day?
Yeah, food truck, a brick and mortar, like that's definitely been the goal. It may be a more achievable goal with the food truck sooner than later. And then, somewhere people could come in and have a good drink and listen to good music and have some fly vegan food. That's all a part of the vision.
Fly vegan food. That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Speaking of delicious, I think we should take a bite of this delicious food. It's
Yes.
getting cold.
Let's do it.
Well, what do you got for us here beyond Bussin'?
We have our plant-based vegan fried chicken, and we call it the vegan fried chicken, but it is actually tofu wrapped around a wooden stick, covered in rice paper, and then deep fried with our homemade barbecue honey hot sauce.
Yes, drizzled.
And drizzled. and with our seasoning blend to go on top of it, and it's crispy, it's savory, it's delicious, it's plant-based, it's not an animal.
Yes.
But did you say there's wood in it?
It's like what's
It's
chicken come with? A bone?
Yeah,
So it's like that.
Oh, it's not edible.
Yes.
No,
it's not
don't
edible.
eat the, don't.
Right. It's
It's
just
just to hold it
Yes.
together.
There's
Correct.
some that are. There's the ones made of sugar cane.
I
Oh, I
was
love
jumping.
those.
Oh,
wow.
I love
Someone
chewing
actually
on it.
suggests making it out of pretzel. Like I thought that would be.
No.
Oh,
That's
that's
interesting.
interesting. Very
Hooked up
interesting.
behind here.
No, not pretzel. That doesn't go
Yeah.
well with that at all.
Oh man, thank you.
All right, the host is the first to try. it.
Yes. I love them.
Crispy on the outside.
All right.
That's how you do it.
Okay now.
I'm in.
A lot of
Bussin'.
people like that
Beyond
so
Bussin'.
far.
Beyond
Missed
Bussin'.
opportunity there. See, daggone. Here at Yonkers Vegan, everything is beyond bussin'.
Facts.
Yo,
You never know.
did the word beyond because beyond meat? Like that play on words because of beyond means not real meat?
Not really, because we don't use that product. Not because we don't want to. I know this is a podcast, so I don't want to get in trouble here. But it's just that something that hasn't come up to use that. But I think they got popular at a similar time, and it just happened to work out.
Yeah.
But it was not made. But if people attribute that, whatever, whoever comes in for whatever reason, come on. If you like Beyond Meat, we got stuff that tastes like that. Come on,
Yeah,
try
stuff
it.
better than.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And it's better. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the transition from, I guess it's called omnivore, right? Carnivore, omnivore,
No, omnivore.
omnivore,
Yeah.
to vegan. Let's start with Pint. How was that transition?
So it was a very interesting transition for me. I started as a vegetarian in August of 2013. So I've been meat free for almost 12 years at this point.
Wow.
Yeah. It was first for health reasons, because I have a lot of family members that have a lot of chronic illnesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. And then just within that past year or so, within that time, I was still just starting college. And I I wasn't feeling well. I just wasn't feeling well. So I was like, let me try being, vegetarian first. My family first thought I was crazy. They could tell you. They're like, you're going to give up bacon? You sure? I'm like, don't worry. I'm going to figure it out. So I'm glad I had the support, that I did. And then eventually, since, as we talked before, I always definitely had some love for animals. So then that trickled in throughout being vegetarian. And then in 2017, around that same time I was becoming vegetarian, I was like, I think I want to go vegan now. I was like, let me try this. And then that was also the exact same time I started Pint Sized Vegan as well. At first, it was more of a food diary, considering how Instagram was back in 2017. It's super different than how it is today, which honestly, that blows me away.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I used that as a way to be I had posted some things that were still vegetarian and some things that are vegan that I was trying out. But then I also did start going to restaurants and stuff that I knew of at the time that were oh, there's this little vegan thing you can have and whatnot. So then it was the beginning of 2019. I was seeing blogging was kind of starting to become a thing then. And I was like, can I do something with this? Can I do what all the people are doing? And then that's when I started opening to being let me go to do reviews of stuff, go to restaurants, see what vegan options there are. And then that's what started to what I have today, which is this, big whole thing about reviewing restaurants, talking about different vegan products at grocery stores, promoting a lot of amazing businesses like Beyond Bussin here as well. So yeah.
What's your goal with the influencing?
My goal is just to have, I guess, of just a very more bigger audience, doing a lot more for the community, just doing a lot more for local restaurants, which I feel like I'm doing very well at, but I know I can do a lot more. I definitely always have that push to that I can keep going bigger and bigger.
Just be consistent, you know. Just do it. That's it. Just do it. Everything will fall into place.
Right.
Navi Da Prophet.
What's up?
What's up with the music, man? Everybody that ever sees me without you says, "What up? How's Navi? Oh, he's good. He's good. What's up with the music, man? He hasn't dropped it in a while."
The music is definitely coming this year, but for the ones that's asking, watch out. That's it.
My man.
It's definitely coming though. You know, this year I had to, you know, when it comes to let's be honest, mental health is a little more important. So I had to make sure that, you know, my community and everybody else is taken care of first. I can always get back to the music, which I will. Like I said, this year I got you. I got stuff already like a Little Caesars pizza, vegan though, hot and ready.
My man.
We definitely been asking for it, so yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Marcus, your favorite overall vegan meal? Number one. The one that makes you...
Damn, that's hard.
The one you can eat every day.
That I make or that in general?
In general. Even if you got to travel for your number one favorite. What's that whole meal?
That's hard.
You need a minute?
I hate to be biased,
I'm asking everybody, so
I'm not gonna front. Like I am gonna say something on my own. I like my Rasta pasta.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I've gotten like feedback from other people like that try other Rasta pastas, vegan or non-vegan, and they're like, yo, they go out of their way to call and say like, yo, we went to the spot in New Rochelle. Yours is better than that. And I'm like, good, thank you. So I gotta say that my own Rasta pasta is my favorite vegan meal on the planet.
I like that. Pint, what you got?
So my favorite food is like falafel, and that's something I've always liked. Even when I was vegetarian, I saw as like, you know, just a nice, comforting, also kind of like healthy food at the same time. So I can eat that anytime, all the time. I had some today, actually. I went to like this place called Falafel Taco in Pleasantville. It's really good. So there's that, and it's like on top of like my other favorite foods, there's like, you know, pizza and tacos and all of that. But if I were to really like go out of my way to like go to a certain spot, I honestly really loved it when I went to Canada, went to Toronto. I really loved the food there. I went to like a lot of amazing spots. There was like this all vegan like pizza bar place that was really cool. Went to the very first Planta in the area.
What's that?
It's kind of like vegan, like Japanese food. It's really, really good. They have one in the city, but I was like, I want to go to like the very, very first location when I went to Toronto, and I did. I even though it's like just the same as any other locations they have, it was just like really good. And then another spot I went to was like kind of outside of Niagara Falls. It's like this all vegan Mediterranean spot. That was like amazing. It was called I think it was called the Lemon Tree Bistro, something like that.
Yeah, good falafel there.
I didn't even get I don't remember if I got the falafel. Yeah, we got the falafel. We got like a whole bunch of other vegan versions of other things there. They had like a baklava cheesecake that was like really good, and it was like vegan.
Wow.
Like they had it down.
Nice.
Baklava sounds good.
Navi, your favorite meal?
Shout out to all my vegan chefs, right? And my mom, but I have to say, like, and I don't know, Marcus can attest because he's tried it before, but my mom, you know, obviously she's not vegan, but she knows myself and my sister. She's been vegan long before me, my sister. And my mom just sort of just started to dive into veganism as well. Just more like less getting into the knowledge and baking. And every once in a while we experiment together because she's interested now. So one day she's like, oh, like, you know, I made mushroom gisao.
I knew you was going to say that.
My man.
And I was like, what do you mean? Like, she was like, yo, you got to just come and try it. Like, it's just like how we had when you was young, but just with mushrooms. And obviously she added roasted potatoes inside along with regular potatoes and carrots and
pumpkin
roasted pumpkin pieces. Like, it's all chopped up. But then it's with the mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. Amazing. She made it for me on my birthday, of course, that just passed. But she makes it for me whenever I ask. So, you know, it's mom. Shout out to mom. Thank you, mom. Love you. She always somehow, some way, she always comes out swinging with the food, man.
And the desserts too.
Yeah, my
sweet potato cake that she make. I gotta put it on camera because I hope it come back out again. That was phenomenal.
My mom, she's been experimenting on some things. So we've been talking and working together on a couple of recipes together, and hopefully we'll get something going this year with Beyond Bussin' and be able to like maybe add something onto the menu. We're working on that. We're working on that for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Marcus, how was the transition?
When did I start? I think November 2014 was when I started. And then it took me some time to like really get it together. So it probably took me, I would say maybe like January 2016 is where I would say like my official vegan journey started. Because cheese took about a year for me to get off of. Yeah. Like the meat wasn't an issue. I started with juice, getting rid of juice and only drinking water.
Excuse me.
And then I was never big on pork and red meat anyway. And chicken just kind of went naturally in like the first couple of months. And then I was doing, what's it called when you eat fish only? Pescatarian. And then my dad had made the mushrooms one time. And I was like, oh man, like I don't even need the fish. The mushroom was so good. And then I just started learning it. But cheese took a long time.
Yeah, I think cheese is always like the last thing, or like it.
Cheese was crazy.
It's like the one thing. Like
it has scientifically has like a chemical that's like morphine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people don't realize cheese is kind of like a painkiller too.
Like addictive.
So it's like very addictive.
Yeah.
So you're like addicted to cheese, and you don't notice because cheese was like. That was the hardest thing I ever had to stop in my life.
Facts.
Yo, because God gave us cheese, and cheese is amazing. Yo, straight up. I'm not even joking.
Cheese is amazing.
Dairy's so good for us that it's like God was like, oh, you make it hard for these people to not have the shit no more.
Insane.
It is tasty, but
it's the best, man. It's the best. You know what you're missing. That's why it was difficult to give it up. I know. Vegan cheese is nothing compared to real cheese.
And pizza's very accessible.
Oh, man. A good slice goes so easy.
Yeah, pizza is too accessible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It wasn't hard. I'd say it was a challenge.
Every corner. If you say it with any more passion, we're going to have to talk later.
Yeah. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all feel it.
But I'm pretty sure like Navi and Jenny, you could attest to this, but once it's gone, you just never go back.
It's like exactly,
it's
like you don't have
to. Your system, like you would never go back.
I haven't had dairy in a very long time. Like I can say cheese, I feel like was like the last, kind of the last thing for me too.
For me too. Like
it just took a little bit.
That's the hardest thing.
It is, because when I was going from vegetarian to vegan, I was like, just the one thing was just the damn cheese.
Damn cheese.
Damn chease.
How do y'all feel about vegan cheese?
It's definitely been.
It helps. It scratches the itch.
But lately it has been. It's definitely way better than it's been over the years.
For sure.
Because before there was nothing. Now there's like a lot of small businesses that like make their own like, artisanal like vegan cheeses. And the key thing is using nuts instead. Mm-hmm. They use nuts. It just tastes 10 times better.
Right. Cashews.
Yeah, 10 times better.
Right.
One brand I really like, they have a location in Essex Market in the city. They took over Riverdale. It's I want to say it's Rebel Cheese. They were on Shark Tank, I think. Okay. Yeah, Rebel Cheese. It's really, really good vegan cheese.
Nice.
Never tried it. Look into that.
I'm gonna look
it up.
Let's get into some details. So there's a lot of pros and cons. So both diets, let's say, omnivore and plant-based. The negatives of plant-based, the ones that really stood out to me, are the deficiencies in vitamin B12, iron, and omega-3. When I was doing all my research, those are the main ones that stood out. Mm. And it says here, the sources for vegans for vitamin B12 are fortified foods, nutritional yeast, plant milks, cereals, or B12 supplements. Do you guys have any advice? Let's say people that are looking into this, they click this episode because they're looking into switching up, but these things scare them because how do you guys fill these in?
Well, we actually add nutritional yeast to the food.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
we add
nutritional
we
yeast
add
is also-
nutritional yeast to the food. It's there's always a way to get those vitamins in.
No, I know
for
there's
sure.
ways,
Oh.
but it's like it's just way more difficult through a vegan diet.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
like in every meal you're not adding these
Oh,
things. That's
in
what I
every
mean. You know what I
meal.
mean?
Oh, of
Every
course.
day you're not eating these, you're not adding these things. Every
course.
day, every meal, you know?
But neither is the average person eating that, because a lot
Right.
of those things
Yeah.
that they're discussing come from fish, like the omega-3s and the vitamin B12.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people don't consume fish that much.
100%.
So,
Right.
average person is also lacking those things as well. So, with the mindset of going vegan, I don't want to speak for everybody, but in the world, but probably the three of us, since we're educators as well, and just out here trying to spread the knowledge, you find ways to supplement those losses by either taking the vitamin,
Yep.
or like beefing up on, I don't want to say beefing, but adding
Talk about it. Beef is amazing. Let's talk about it.
adding certain things that would include those things more into your diet.
Right.
So a lot of the maybe not plant milk, but a lot of, they're talking about almond milk or like cashew milk. Walnuts have a lot of those things that you're missing in it. A lot of the spices and the seasonings, like nutritional yeast.
Yeah.
You make sure that you're not missing out.
Right.
So like anything that you
Like
give
you have
up,
to be, when I do my research, something that stood out is you really have to consciously eat to fill those vitamins.
I think
Like that's I feel like is one of the hardest things to just, if you're switching over and nothing to be out of whack, that's the hardest part. Even proteins, it's to get the same amount of all of these vitamins from vegetables and however else you can
people
get
lean
these
on
vitamins.
protein a lot.
Yeah.
Like when they say that,
Most-
That,
most
it actually wasn't
protein.
even top 3, which I was surprised.
gonna say-
Top 3 was
Exactly.
vitamin B12, iron, and omega 3.
I was gonna say
top
iron.
3.
I was gonna say iron was it
All
for
right,
me.
let's talk about iron.
That was the first
So it's vitamins mainly you would do, right? Well, I know a lot. Let's actually jump on iron.
I actually was taking a plant-based iron from Pharmacy for Life. I was doing that,
Yeah.
first just in general. And that's another thing too. Like the average person isn't even taking vitamins, and I'm always taking vitamins on top of eating like this on a normal basis. So of course, they have one called Iron It Out, and it's from Pharmacy for Life, and it's also plant-based capsules as well. It's phenomenal. And of course, that was like the first thing though, I would say. Like I was like, damn, well, how do the iron? And of course, just with research, of course, like certain types of greens, kale and everything like that. Just
Let me run through it. I got a nice list here of iron sources for vegans.
Hit it.
Lentils,
Yep.
spinach,
Yep.
tofu,
Yep.
pumpkin seeds, quinoa, and iron fortified cereals. And then it says, note, plant-based iron, non-heme, is harder to absorb than non-animal based iron. See, those things too scare me. Because it's like, you can get the iron, but these ways of getting the iron specifically, our bodies are not absorbing them as easy as if it was from meat. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys do blood work often? Like, I feel like that might be a
Yeah.
good way to stay on top of things.
Every year.
You have to, it's extremely important. You have to, It's it's one time I watched this documentary called The Game Changers, and like one of those things, it was an experiment that stood out to me, like specifically about the blood. They had 3 Miami Dolphin players on there, and they did a blood test on them specifically, but they gave them all meals, different meals. They gave the kicker plant-based burrito, and they gave one guy a beef burrito, another guy a chicken burrito. And they went and they tested the blood a day later, and they noticed that the 2 gentlemen on the side that ate the chicken and the beef burrito, their blood was very foggy, and the gentleman that had the plant-based burrito was completely clear. And he was just saying this is just based off of one day or just one meal after eating beef or consuming beef or chicken. That's just one, and what the blood can do just based off of that versus eating plant-based. And clearly,
That sounds ridiculous, bro.
that was a doctor.
Because we're talking about one meal, blood work, and what does foggy even mean? What do you mean by that?
when I'm talking about when something like
Like
kind
to
of
make a blood work off of one meal, and what were they looking for?
he's doing blood work, and he noticed that basically one is a plant-based eater, and the other 2 gentlemen eat regular meat all the time. So they were just testing them, and they would just basically take this meal as well. They had already eaten their meals throughout the day, but I'm saying like it was You know what foggy looks like. You know, like when your blood. You know.
I don't think a meal made their blood.
No, it's
foggier
just
than
them. Their lifestyles.
Yeah.
Like one gentleman, he was saying before every away game he had to have Popeye's chicken. So that's his
poison.
But that's his.
But you
that's
see,
many people's
that's another
lifestyle.
misconception of both sides, where if you're eating a clean omnivore diet, you're healthy. If you're eating a clean vegan diet, you're healthy. If you're eating a dirty vegan diet, you're not healthy. If you're eating a dirty omnivore diet, you're not unhealthy. It's just the choices of which. Both diets are unhealthy. Both diets are healthy.
Right.
You know, it's how you do it.
But when you're an athlete and you're in tip-top shape,
you're supposed to eat clean. They shouldn't be having Popeyes at all.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So in their
Absolutely, I
mindset,
agree.
when they're creating that lifestyle, they're doing that on their own based off of, I'm an athlete. It's not going to show me. It's not going to have any impact on me. Like as if you still can't get high blood pressure. You can still get all of those things from that.
It's on the inside that people don't notice. Even like diabetes.
Right.
You know, you could be skinny and think, that'll never happen to me.
Right. 100%.
Everything could happen.
100%.
No matter what diet you're on, anything could happen to you. All right, I got another, this list, because people that never looked into veganism don't even realize what counts as vegan or not. These are non-vegan items people don't realize are not vegan. It's just 10 of them. But these are really... Cheese, of course, is a given. We all know cheese. Butter, some people don't even know butter. Honey. That one actually stood off the page for me because no one ever associates honey with...
but think about it. It comes from an animal. It comes from
bees.
Yeah.
So that one was like, shit.
You really
that one I was like, all right. Because you don't really associate it with the bee.
Exactly.
It's on the combs or whatever. Crazy. Gelatin-based foods, which are gummy candies, marshmallows, jello.
It's basically like pork.
And anything made with animal bones.
Yep.
This one... Whey and casein proteins.
Yeah. Those proteins from the milk.
Yeah, that one, I had no idea whey protein. Eggs, everybody should know eggs.
Yeah, like
certain wines and beers.
yes. I tell people about the wines all the time.
That's crazy. Some use fish bladders or egg whites for filtration. That's crazy. No idea. Bread and baked goods, of course, everybody should know there's eggs in bread and baked goods. Chocolate, milk chocolate, of course. And pasta. Pasta has eggs in it. Those were the top 10 that I found. People just, it's difficult because it's a difficult transition because you don't realize that the everyday items are... Anybody has anything to add or talk about?
They make lentil
this
pasta.
list?
They make
No, I know there's
know?
I know there's alternatives.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
There's like a lot.
2025, there's alternatives for everything. We got chicken on the table.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's more or less like, again, it's about making the lifestyle choice. If you want to actually make the lifestyle choice, I mean, it's a choice. You know, you don't have to. It's not. No one's forcing the lifestyle choice on anybody, and it's just a healthier alternative.
This one is a list that I was looking up about common misconceptions non-vegans have about veganism. That plants feel pain too. You know how they say,
I know,
don't
they try to
don't
make
kill
like
the
little
animal.
silly
But the plants are
arguments,
alive.
and I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
And what it says here is plants lack a nervous system, so
know,
they don't
like,
have
this-
pain receptors.
I've seen it all.
I found that pretty funny. Very, very funny.
It is.
Of course you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anything anybody wanted to add to these things I'm bringing up here?
I want to say that if obviously like Navi said, if people want to make the choice or decision, all three of us, we had to put in the work. We had to put in all the research, all the trials, and all of that to be like, okay, this is exactly how not how I want to be vegan, but it's all right, I got this fully down pat. I can do this. So it took a lot of that, I would say.
Yeah, I bet. I could never. All right, let's talk about how far you guys take it. Because when I'm doing this research, I didn't realize it even mattered the leather, leather seats in your car. Do you guys take it that serious, or you guys are strictly more on the diet side?
I don't know. To me, to be honest,
You're not all there yet. It sounds like you're not all there
no.
yet.
To be honest, like I've been more concerned with how I feel, like because that's what's important to me is if I'm alive. Like I was sick to the point where, it was that bad. So I'm more concerned with if I'm eating healthy enough to not just breathe, but to feel better every single day. Like I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday by eating better. And that's what's it's for me, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone else. For me, that's what it's mainly about. Not that I walk around wearing leather all the time, because I don't, but just saying in general, for me, it was based off of saving my own life, and becoming better. That's it. And
health.
I think health is wealth, and I don't understand why anyone would think otherwise. Especially some people would actually get sick and still continue to eat the same way and not even consider the fact that, hey, maybe it's something I'm eating. They'll just say, I just got sick today. Or I keep getting sick. I don't know why. It's because of what you're eating.
So boring. Eating healthy doesn't taste good. Eating healthy is boring.
Now we'll be on Bussin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
My man, I like that.
You eating the wrong stuff.
Same question. How far do you take it? Do you take it that serious? Even like you don't sit on leather seats and
Yeah, I'm similar to Navi.
All
like
right.
The
Health.
feeling, but I am conscious of it because I know that there's websites that sell like sneakers that don't have any leather.
Absolutely.
Specifically for vegan products like that. My car doesn't have leather in it, so I wasn't thinking that way. And also that car is before I went vegan.
damn, you had that car for a long time.
He was ready.
On the
Yeah.
road
Oh,
for a
man.
minute, so yeah, if moving forward and like in my present mind, that's probably something that I do think about. I'm always been against like fur coats and things of that nature. It just never sat well with me. And then, now that you're bringing it up, I don't think that's a bad idea to constantly think about that. Like, is this a vegan product? Like, are these shoes made of like, leather from what's cows? Is that where leather comes
Yeah,
from?
leather
like,
from cows.
I want to avoid that. So, but I don't think I really crossed those boundaries where I'm doing too many things that has like, a animal on me or in it. So yeah.
Nice, my man.
I saw a new company, just real quick. I saw a new company that they make like purses and jackets, and it looks leather out of cactus now.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
that
Yeah,
looks phenomenal.
It's 2025. There's literally
Yeah.
an alternative for everything.
Right.
Literally. Pint, how do you feel about this?
Pretty much the same way as them. I also wanted to add, like, you want to, like, as a vegan, you want to, like, live by everything, not like, die by it, because, you want to, like, you want to be here, for the animals, you want to feel good and all that. I definitely, like, don't, like, wear any leather or don't, like, promote anything, like, any, like, clothing. And even, like, since I'm a girl, I like to wear, makeup and all of that. I use vegan cruelty-free makeup, too, and body care products, hair care products, skincare. Like, that's all vegan. Like, if honestly, if it's something that I can control, like, I can control it.
Yeah.
So, like, if, like, say, like, there's a car that has leather, I mean, like, it is what it is, But there's also some vegans that will buy like leather secondhand just because it's a whole nother thing about waste. You don't want to waste it. That's like another thing. I mean, I personally don't really do that because that's just me, but that is like, a thing. And I also do have a vegan leather like backpack. I only like use it in the summertime, but I really Matt and Nat is the brand that I use.
You know what material it is?
I think they use like it's recyclable products.
Materials, okay.
Yeah, and you never even know. Like, it's amazing.
All right. How about zoos and stuff? You guys are against it? You'll never go, or because you like I already know you guys care more about the health and all that stuff. You guys don't take it that serious, but are you guys cutting that out too? Like, I feel like that's
I hate
extreme.
zoos.
Damn, all types of animal activity.
I don't think we own animals. That's the thing. I just don't agree with that.
We definitely don't own them.
Yeah.
They're our friends.
Like, why should they be
they're
entrapped?
equals? They're equals.
For our profit. That doesn't.
So
like, why
you
we doing
100% don't even ever visit any type
that? I
of.
will unless I'm going to free something. Like, I'm not going to no zoo.
My man.
You remember one of the very first times we did a podcast together, you and me, one of the questions you asked me was, what was my least favorite word?
Oh, hell yeah, I remember that.
And it was zoo.
Oh, my man.
And I told you why. And it's the same exact reason why. It's
Prison,
because
right?
it's.
I'm joking, I'm joking.
No, I was saying like in prison. Well, it's like, they use humans in the same sense, and it's just different terminology, different words, like And I've never thought like animals should be caged. I never thought that, and then like obviously as I got older, I was way more conscious of that, and especially even more into the vegan lifestyle, like even going to the zoo.
So you don't do none of that no more?
It's not that fun to me anymore now. Like when I was a kid, I still love animals though. I go to the farms now, like where I know it's a sanctuary and I'm able to feed them. I'm able to hang out with them. I'm always with the cows, the goats. Shout out to all the dogs that I'm always, handling. Some of my friends' dogs, my cousins' dogs, mine. Like shout out to all of them. I'm always around animals, and animals love me too. The bearded dragon, we got a bearded dragon at One Paso.
My man.
That's always on me. I was on me today while I was, named Magma. Yeah, man. Love animals.
That's a caged animal right there, man.
Man, but they love me. They come to me.
I'm just saying, it's caged. It's zooed up.
I'm saying that's on me. Like, some of the animals on me. Like as I'm talking to the kids and everything, I allow the animal to stay on me the whole time. I got pictures with talking to people outside with the lizard on me. Yeah, like we don't put it in the cage ever.
I seen it on your story, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is before you mentioned it. I'm like, what, a lizard at the meeting table? Like,
when I
on the table at the meeting, I'm like, what is
when
that?
I finish, I'm gonna show you another picture that I had the lizard today at WCC. Right here, I'm talking to a student. I'm talking to a student with the lizard right here with us at WCC.
Go on tour.
Yep.
Nice.
Love that.
Pint, how do you feel about zoos and all that stuff?
Yeah, like when Navi said, growing up, I loved going to the zoo because I loved seeing the animals. But as a kid, I didn't know what zoos really are, and I do like we have like the exact opposite of that, which is like animal sanctuary. So it's like animals that were like saved from. I want to say some were saved from zoos, but also some were saved from slaughterhouses too, and all of that. I never gone to an animal sanctuary yet, but I've like been really wanting to, and I think that's on my list this year. I'm gonna go to an animal sanctuary.
Yeah, after it's over, I'll tell you the one I went to.
Yeah,
it's close.
I probably know which one that is then.
In Connecticut?
Oh, it's one in Connecticut? I was thinking the one's more up north.
Yeah, it's in Connecticut. It's close though.
Do you guys feel like there's any other important information we should give the people about veganism? Anything that I didn't touch on that's important that they should know?
It's a wide range of things you can make that are vegan, that are still delicious, and I don't think it's that big of a jump in terms of taste. It has been a while for me, but there's a lot of ways that you feel differently after changing your diet. And I think all three of us, we never spoke about this, but I heard you mention it. Like, your mind literally changes, and there's no way to describe it unless you do it. Like, there's just no way to describe it. I have this conversation a lot where people ask, like, well, what was the biggest thing? I'm like, my thinking changed. Like, in a big way. Like, it just completely changed, like, over the time. And I think that's learning yourself in ways that maybe that you were not aware of all your life because you were fed a different diet, or just went with what your family were doing or what you were told. And when you step out of that, to feel not such a physical change, you do feel a physical change, but a mental change too. Like, I don't think there's anything that can compare that other than trial and experience. But that would be the main thing. Like, and forget about taste. Like, your whole thinking changes.
That's a fact.
Do you think it's the diet that changes your thinking, or is it you're not following the herd no more? You stepped away from the herd, and now you can see the herd because you stepped back.
Well, just to piggyback off of what Navi said about the cloudy blood, like, I feel like your mind is like, I don't know, like it's like completely different.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like there's like a filter or a haze in there that has you think a different way, and then after a while, like, you just become a little more
conscience.
Yeah, like your
100%.
heart grows. Like you just more in tune. Everything's a little more receptive, and it's kind of like certain antennas that weren't working are now like working again. And like the elements, you feel things differently. The way you walk past flowers in the grass, like the sun hits you. Like everything just completely changes.
Appreciation is different. Like you just appreciate everything a lot more.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, you really do. Like I say never. I first heard about just even being like vegetarian back in like 2010. I was into doing art at the time, and for the summer I went to like a go away college thing for like, high schoolers like all around the country. And it was like an all girls school too. And there were like some girls that were vegetarian. I'm actually still friends with one of them today, and I know she's also like vegan, which is crazy. So when I was, talking to her about like, how she eats and all of that, because she was just vegetarian at the time. And I was like, I don't think I could ever do this, like at all. And now I need all of this. I need my that. I also ate like horribly at the place, especially since it was free food. I got like free bunch of stuff.
Free is me.
Yeah. So just like never say never. You never know like when, your mind is like something's gonna happen in your life, and then you're just gonna just like a switch, and then you're just like, well, now I'm vegetarian and now I'm vegan, and I love every minute of it.
Love it. That's awesome. As long as you love it and you're healthier, that's all that matters.
I'm not sure about the time, but it's also hard to sell anybody who's stopped eating meat on like a dead piece of flesh now to be like, oh, okay, like now would you want this, dead cow that's you have no idea how long it's been dead, like, or this chicken that everybody claims has like all types of stuff in it, like what's the place called,
Preservatives?
BBQs, like a chicken the size of like this microphone, like that's not what chickens are shaped like. It's this, and fish got mercury in it. Marvin Gaye said the fish got mercury back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s.
It's like you don't want to like diss or bash any. Well, I'll play the bad guy. I don't mind. Like, why not?
Yeah, I'm down because I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah,
there's no way to convince me that this diet is better than mine.
And there's no way I would never go back. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm not eating dead animals. Like, that's been in ShopRite in Getty Square for who knows how long. Like,
so you're open to eating something fresh?
What, like a cow? No, like,
he's not eating no.
Because you made it seem like old meat is disgusting, but fresh meat,
old meat, I don't care if you just shot it with a bow and arrow. Like, I'm not gonna eat a bird. They're like pretty majestic beings. And then once you find out, like, some of these creatures, like, what has the like a pig has a mental capacity of a 4-year-old child. Yeah, like you're eating a pre-K. Like, if you think about it that way, like a pig. A cow is mad affectionate. Like, they
are.
Lay with you like a just
pigs
like
can
a
also
dog.
be like pigs are like dogs actually.
Yeah.
If you train them well, pigs are like having a dog.
And to take it further, a pig's skin is closest to the human skin. So it's like people are eating. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I understand. It's delicious. I love this shit. I 100% understand. It sounds like crazy, but that's literally what we were put on this earth for.
Yeah, they use pig skins.
We were put on this earth to eat both. And it's okay. We live side by side. We're all friends. We all love each other. It's just different diets, and it's okay.
Where did you get that information from?
What information?
That we were put on this earth to eat
both.
I'm a very spiritual person, so I understand that we are animals ourselves. The same way a lion is supposed to eat meat, and that's his way of survival. That's our way of survival is off of plants and meat. It's the same thing. We're just animals just like them. We're just smarter, so we could capture them and we could kill them and we could farm them. They can't do that to us. A lion can't farm nothing. We're so smart we can farm and feed ourselves and feed generations and feed families and countries and cities. We're too smart to just sit and do one thing. We're capable of everything. We're so smart. It's insane. So yeah, we're just animals just like them. That's why I agree. Zoos, it definitely is fucked up. They're equals just like us. We're all part of the earth. It's just we're so smart. We take advantage of everything. We even take advantage of each other.
But we're not out there like killing animals with our bare hands. There's a whole like, if you want chicken, you're not gonna.
It's
go
industrialized
out there
now.
But we
Yeah.
also have different
herd and
teeth
kill
for a
chickens.
It's
reason.
industrialized
I would also
now,
say
yeah.
We
that,
also have
like,
different teeth for a reason. That's why we're not like lions. You know, the lions, their teeth are for tearing through meat and
Eating
bones
raw
and things
meat.
like
Yeah,
that.
hell yeah.
Like including canines, dogs, things like that. But like obviously our teeth aren't made for things like that. Our teeth aren't made for that. Clearly for this purpose to, yeah, maybe you might be able to have maybe
A nice steak, juicy,
Nah.
tender, bloody,
Nah.
sliced up.
I will say this. I will say this. There's true studies out there that obviously, like, if you are, for some of the elders out there who have lived on farmland and who have raised and ate their own, they've been more healthier than obviously people eating and buying from
Exactly,
supermarkets.
like tribal,
right? Like
tribals,
tribal
yeah,
kind of thing.
They
Like
still
living
live
in,
like that till this day.
living like that to this day, and some of them live out to be like 100 years old. Some of them,
Strong as hell.
But the most important thing is that clearly, like, you know,
Eating clean.
Yeah, eating clean. But I mean, there's nothing clean in the food that most people are eating in this country. That's the issue.
That's including
You know,
vegetables.
it's this
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
That's
country.
including vegetables, though.
But
that's why
absolutely.
that's why I agree. Both sides have bad food. Both sides have good food.
Absolutely.
There's poison in everything.
Yeah.
There's preservatives in everything. But there's also that quality, delicious, you know, healthy, grown, both vegetables, meats, everything, fruits. There's good and bad on both sides. I agree. We're all on the same page here. It's all about eating clean. I eat meat, but I try not to eat as dirty as the average American. I try to eat as clean as I can. I slip up all the time. I do food reviews, so I eat everything.
You do food reviews. That's different.
But on
yeah.
a regular day, on my regular diet, I'm eating as clean as possible. As clean as I can imagine. You know what I mean? It's difficult. Shopping at a supermarket is not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Everything is not fresh. Everything is not
It's a lot of processed
clean,
foods.
organic. I don't know if I could trust that label.
Nah, you
but
can't.
Same thing with the vegetables.
You can't.
They
Yeah,
say
you're right.
They say organic. I want to believe it.
You're right. But
You
I go
know?
to farmers markets to buy my vegetables. I tell Marcus all the time, I don't buy my vegetables at ShopRite. I don't buy my vegetables at Pathmark. If that's what you want, then
I
that's
like
your
Stu Leonard.
that's
I
your
feel like
thing.
they got quality stuff.
If that's what I'm saying. That's just like veganism is a choice, and based off of how we feel if when we're eating certain foods, you know, it's a choice to shop at these places too. Like, I choose to spend a little bit more money for my produce because I know it's being picked from an Amish farm. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna. Let me tell you, half these vegetables and everything before it's after it's being picked, it's traveling for miles on a dirty old truck, put in boxes, put in this. I mean, yeah, I understand. So yeah, there's ways to clean that stuff, but of course you can't. You can't perfect it all. But that's why, yeah, knowing where your source is coming from helps a lot.
100%. 100%. Popeyes does not let you know all the details.
Popeyes got Don Q now in the chicken.
Oh yeah, that's what I saw.
You guys
That
is
I
on
was
the-
like,
I see everybody online for it.
Yeah.
Horrible.
that was crazy.
Scary. Stay away from the poison. All right, let's wrap this up nice and strong. Let's give everybody how they can find you guys. Any last advice and words, and any last thing you want people to tune into. Let's start off with Pint. Where can people find you, and what do you want them to tune into?
So you can find me on Instagram at the Pint Sized Vegan. Right now, I'm gonna be doing posting some more reviews of like some new places. I have some fundraiser things coming up, some collabs coming up, a lot of great stuff coming up.
Awesome.
Very nice. You could find me at Beyond Bussin on Instagram and on Facebook. If you're looking for the food immediately, you could check out the Rasta Pasta. It's on the menu at Off the Hook, 47 North Broadway. Also, the artichoke croquettes are on the menu over there, along with the vegan shrimp. So, and then also follow the page because we'll be having a lot of pop-ups, and you might see that vegan truck sooner than later, maybe this year. But follow us, and you'll always catch us doing something out here in these streets.
My man.
Yes,
Navi,
sir.
bring it home.
Yes, catch me at Nav One Da Prophet. Prophet as in who I am, not as in finance. Shout out to One Paso. I'm still on this mental health journey with the entire community. We are like dead set on making it happen, you know, for everyone. You know, shout out to everyone, the whole staff, Maria, Arlene, everybody at One Paso. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to, of course, Beyond Bussin. We coming through strong this year. And like I said earlier, hopefully with some new items on the menu. Exciting. It's going to be super exciting. And we're always bringing the vibe, most importantly. Shout out to Pint Sized Vegan, of course, for, you know, what she does and bringing out, you know, the community. I also got music coming up, like I said, of course. Look out for that. You know, y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do.
So everybody knows the hardest part of becoming vegan is the cheese. Thank you everybody for watching. Peace and love.
Peace.
Cheers.
Thank you guys. That was
Yeah.
That was awesome.